at the business cycle, and we actually spend a lot of time looking at payroll data, is through the BLS calculation of total non-farm private payrolls. So this is also the second main indicator that the National Bureau of Economic Research uses. We go into Fred, we do total non-farm, you gotta love autocorrect, non-farm payroll. And there'll be a few series that come up. You can see they have all sorts of data here from each state. There's all sorts of ways you can look at payroll data you can throw in at whatever state level you want. For this case, we're just going to do this total non-farm one. You can click on it. You can see there's two. This one's actually a private one, ADP, a little bit different. This is the one we want. You'll notice there's a description down here. All employees, total non-farm payroll is a measure of U.S. workers. It is produced by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So this is the measure we want that gets used in the NBER calculation. There's other measures, right? We have other payroll measures or employee measures. There's one called the household survey. This is the establishment survey, which is a survey of firms. We'll look at the household survey here also in a little bit. That's also one of those other measures that they do look at. So anyway, here is total non-farm private payrolls. And you can see their establishment survey. Again, you can look at this right here. One of the questions I'm having you do, and this is kind of just playing around with Fred a little bit, is I say, I want you to compare the fall in non-farm payrolls in this recession relative to the past 4 recessions. So kind of follow along here. Under Edit Graph, I'm going to add this line. It's the same series, so I'm just copying the code and I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to do it 4 times because I want you to look at the last 4 recessions. As I do this, you'll notice nothing on the graph's changing. I'm literally just copying and pasting the same line 3 additional times. Why am I doing that? All right, let's go back to line 1 here. And right here under units, I'm going to do index. Indexing to 100 allows us to compare the magnitudes of these events across different business cycles. So I can do at any point from the start or end of a previous recession. So we want to do from the start of the recession, and we're going to do right there, and we're going to hit copy to all. So it's going to now do it for all business cycles. And then we're going to go to line 2. And in line 2, we're going to do since the previous recession. And it will adjust that. You can see the line slowly adjusting. Line 3, we're going to do since the start of the 2001 recession. And line 4, we're going to do since the start of the 1990 recession. And so all these, you can start to see them scale a little bit. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit display integer periods. So this will start at 0. And let's just look, we're doing monthly data. So let's just look at the decline in total non-farm payroll employment for the first 24 months following the start of a recession. And hit copy to all. It's working. And we can close this down. Oop, I got to fix my graph here. Something goofy went on. Let's go back to line 1. There we go. We got to update 0 to 24. Copy to all. It's not liking the copy to all, so we'll just do it manually. Start in 0. 0 is the first period of the recession. And we got it, almost. One to 24, not 2. And we close it down. And this gives you, in a way, a nice way to look at the percent decline in total payroll. So you can see, and why we like indexing to 100 is, ignore the dates here, obviously those aren't right. We dropped in that first 2-month period about 14.5% of total jobs with this February 2020 recession, the blue line. Whereas you can see most other recessions from when they started had a much slower downturn and a gradual fall in total employment, whereas here the fall was much more sudden. The other thing I want to make sure you guys do on these graphs, and I should have said this with the first one, is under account tools. One, you can share these graphs, but under account tools, I want you to save the graph or add the graph to a dashboard. And you can go in and create a new dashboard. Let's just call it homework one. And we can call this graph total payroll. And we can always just chart from whenever and hit add to dashboard. And you're going to get a really neat, when we're all said and done, a really neat dashboard. You can see I've done a few of these. Modified, let's search by modified. Right here, homework one. And you'll have a dashboard of all the graphs you can create. You can go in and play around, add widgets. You can see it's loading up. When we do index graphs and things like that, it takes a little bit more time to get everything loaded up, but it saves your graph for you so you can share it, you can look at it. Again, a nice little tool. You can add widgets if you want to add comments in there and stuff like that, but a nice little tool to create these dashboards.